Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today in this video we're going to be going through the setup process of this Wavlink Quantum DAX router. Now this is a very nice modern looking router that has a touch LCD panel here, and what I really like about this router is that it has 8 antennas, each is 5 dBi, which should have a very wide range. So we're going to go through the setup process on this router. We're going to update the firmware and we're going to see the different kind of connections, different kind of settings, port forwarding, and all this kind of stuff that we can do and set up through the settings of this router. Now I'm going to dedicate a whole different video later on that I'm going to explain how to use this router from the settings without having to do anything additional than opening the box and connecting it, how to use it as a Wi-Fi extender / repeater. So if that's something you're interested in, please make sure to subscribe to my channel so you wouldn't miss that. Okay, without further ado, let's dig in and go to the installation process of this Quantum DAX Wavlink router. Hello everyone and welcome again. So right now we are going to be setting up and going through the settings of the Wavlink Quantum DAX router. Right now, as you can see here, I am connected to my own personal Wi-Fi network, TechAnkhamun. I made sure to reset the router before I made this video so that I can give you a very realistic setting up experience. So now the router is connected to my WAN cable, which comes from my provider, the internet provider. And here I can see I have a Wavlink 9B, and if we go down a little bit, we also have, did I miss it? We have a Wavlink 9B 5G. So I can connect to either one of these. I'm connecting through Wi-Fi. As you can see, one other option to connect would also be through the LAN cable, but for now I'm going to connect through Wi-Fi. So I'm now connected to my own network. I'm going to connect through the other one now. This is my first time connection, so let's go through this. Connect. Okay, now we are connected. We need to set it up first before we're able to use it. So it takes us automatically to this wi-fi.wavlink.com page. Now if it doesn't automatically take you to this page, you can always go to 192.168.10.1, hit enter, and it should take you to the exact same page, or you can also try to type the wi-fi.wavlink.com. Anyway, it takes you to this page. This is the first page that we get from Wavlink. So I have read and agreed to the end user license agreement. You have to check that and then start setup. Now we have to start with making a password, and this is a password for this page, for the control page, basically for the router. This is not the Wi-Fi password, so I'm just going to make it admin for the time being. It's probably gonna get mad at me because it's not the most secure password, but I'm just gonna make it admin for the time being, just for the sake of this video. Now I hit next. It's saving. I don't want to save it here. Now I myself live in Northern America, but you choose your time zone and your region depending on where you are, and then we hit next. And here we choose the connection type. Mine is WAN, as I told you in the beginning of the video. I have my router connected through the WAN port that comes from my internet provider. My connection type is DHCP. You can choose which connection type you have depending on your connection type, and I believe that the user guide that comes with the router explains the different ones. Most people in Northern America will have the DHCP, but then if you have any other connection, you can choose one of these. So I'm gonna keep it this way, and I'm gonna hit next. Okay, now we can choose the name of the Wi-Fi network and the password. So we have a very nice option here that says single SSID for dual band, meaning if we check this, we're just gonna have one Wi-Fi network which is connecting 2.4G and 5G, which is really cool. It basically means that your phone is going to be connected to this one network, so you don't have to change networks depending on where you are. So if you're in close proximity and if you can utilize the 5G, your phone or your computer or whatever you're connected to is going to use the 5G. But then if you go further away and there's no 5G connection, it's automatically going to be 2.4G. So this is a really nice feature, but for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to uncheck this. I'm going to keep them two different networks. Now I'm going to call it TechAnkhamun Quantum, just to make it different than my other ones that I'm using right now, and this one is 5G. Okay, now for the password, I'm just going to make it something simple for the sake of this video. So maybe let's show it here so I know what I'm typing. TechAnkhamun 123. Now it's not the most secure password, and I don't advise you to make your password as easy or simple as this, but this is just for the sake of this video. Here we have different languages that we can choose from. Mine is set up to English, as you can see, but there are other options. And here we have a question mark that shows you some information about what kind of encryption this is, what is an SSID. So this is really cool. It explains everything to you. So if you're a beginner, or if you don't know what that is, you have that option. Okay, so now I'm gonna hit save. Now remember, my laptop is connected to that network, the Wavlink one, but then we changed it, so it's probably gonna get disconnected, and then it's gonna show me the one I need to connect to, as you can see here. So I don't need that one, this is my old one. I'm gonna make sure to disconnect from that, and then I need to connect to the new one, which is here, TechAnkhamun Quantum and TechAnkhamun Quantum 5G. I'm just going to connect to the normal one. Now the password I set is TechAnkhamun 123, and then we connect. I'm gonna allow it here, and then we're gonna be back in, but I believe we're also going to have a connection now. So let me try to go to google.com, for example, and see if we have internet, and sure we do. Okay, so now we are set, we have internet. Now let's go back here and hit more settings. I might need to log in again. No, I don't. Okay, so I have here the download and upload speeds real time, which you can also see on the screen or the display of this nice router. Here's the CPU usage and the memory usage, or the RAM usage of this router. Now, before I go more into the settings, one very important thing to do when you receive a router like this is to go to advanced and then try to see if there's any new updates. So before I go through every single one of these, I'm going to see if there's any new firmware updates. So we're going to hit update, and then this is my version 30.6.1.5, and I can choose to upload a new one here if I have any. Now I don't have any right now, but I'm going to go to the website and see if there are any newer ones. Remember, this is mine, yours could be different, but then you want to hit this link and go to the website, and the newer one is here, much newer than the one I have. Mine is 6.1.5. Here it's this is 30, this is 31. So I want to download this for sure, so I'm gonna hit download, and it's now downloading here. So after it's done downloading, I'm going to upload it here, and we're gonna hit update. Now this is gonna take some time, probably. I haven't done it yet, but we're going to see right now. Okay, so looks like we're done with that. So right now I am choosing the file which I just downloaded. Remember, it will download it as a zip file. You need to unrar or unzip that file, and then we're gonna choose this, and we're gonna hit update. It's probably gonna take some time, so we're going to wait for it, and then it's gonna be updated, and then we're going to go through every single one of these options we have here. Okay, so here it's updating, and it says do not power off your router. It's very, very important to make sure that you don't disconnect your router while this is happening. So we're going to wait for this to be done, and then we're going to go through the other options and everything that we can do with this router. So we're almost done here with updating the firmware, and now it takes us to this page. That probably means that we are done with the upgrading, and now we are back at it, and it's automatically connected. So we can just try to refresh this. It was automatically going to refresh anyway. And here we are again. So remember, I made my password admin. So whatever password you made here, you just write it down, and we keep going. Okay, so here we are. Now I'm running the 31 version 0.0.0.14, which is also the latest version here. So now we're up and running. That's how you update the firmware, and it's something that I would recommend you to do once you get this router out of the box. So now that we're done with this, I'm going to go back here. Here we have the connections. The first one is a 2.4G, and this is 5G. Okay, so We can hit the devices here. It's going to show you which devices are connected to the router, and then the router is connected to the internet. It's showing you the upload and download in a very nice way, and the connection time. So this is really cool. Now we go to devices, and here is my computer. Now you might see the Mac blurred here. This is the if you want to limit the connection speed, you have the option to this here, and when you have more devices connected, they are just going to be listed here. So this is going to be really nice, and you can even choose which certifications or authorities that connection or that device would have. So as I also showed you before, this question mark explains what this is about. So if you need any help understanding what allowed means, what renaming the device means, you can see everything here. Now when we go to wireless, remember we said this once before when we were setting up the routers. So you have the option here of using one SSID for them, meaning one name, one connection, or using them separately. So one is 5G and one is 2.4G. I'm going to keep it like this for now. Now we have this option here, so we can choose the security mode to be either WBA or WBA2 BSK or the other one. Same with the other one, by the way. And if we hit the question mark here, it explains what each of these is. I'm going to keep it like this for now. We can expand if we want to see any advanced settings. So we have all these options here. Now I'm going to go to advanced, and before I start to dig in here, I'm going to show you one thing, which is this little button here. So we can reboot the router from here. We can schedule a reboot from here. We can hit login password, or we can log out from the router. Okay, and then we have these languages as we discussed before. Now we have a restore. Now first of all, let me appreciate how nice this website looks like. It's just very clean. Very colorful. Everything seems to be very organized in a very nice way, and then we also have this question mark that explains anything that we don't understand. Now the router status here, it just says general information about the router, how it's connected, the uptime, the firmware we're running, the MAC, and all this information here. So this is the status. Here was the internet settings, and remember I'm connected as DHCP. This depends on your internet provider and the kind of connection that you have. We have a guest Wi-Fi option. So here, if you have any guests coming and you just don't want to give them your own password to your own network, you can create a new network here, and I can call it, for example, TechAnkhamun guest. Now when anyone comes to visit me, I can thank you for visiting password, for example. I can make any password I want, and I can just hit save, and it's going to show in my networks here. So I don't have to give people the actual password of my network. I can just give them the other one. I can then limit the speed to their networks or do whatever I need to do with that. So this is a guest Wi-Fi. Here we have a parental control, so you can activate this here, and then you can choose the devices connected and limit the start time or the end time, the days that you want to block. So if your kids have an exam in a single day, in a specific day, you can block their access to the internet on that day, for example. So this is really nice if you don't want your children to use a specific device on a specific day at a specific time. You want to make sure that your kid isn't waking up in the middle of the night to use the internet. You have this option here, which is really cool, very easy and sleek. You don't need to download any additional software or get yourself these malware programs. It's right in here in a very nice way. Here is the restore option. So you can back up your system and your settings, and you can restore it again, or you can reset your whole router from here. So you can reset it from here, or you can reset it from the button on the router itself, the physical button down there. So here quickly, I just wanted to remind you that to reset this router, we can either do it through the settings. But now what if you forgot the password to the settings and you're not able to access the admin page? Well, here in the router, we have all these ports. So here you can see we have this little reset hole here. So you just need to pinch something into this hole for 6 seconds and it should reset it. And then you will need to set up the password from the beginning. So you can either reset it from here, or you can reset it from the settings as we are explaining right now. Okay, now let's get back to the settings page. Here is the wireless extension, and I'm going to dedicate a whole different video for this because this is really cool. So basically you can use this router as a wireless extension. So that would be a Wi-Fi repeater or extender. you would be able to scan. Let me actually do it here just for the sake of the video. So we're going to scan, and it's going to read all the connections I have here. See all these networks? And if you take a look at these, see, I can get a lot of networks that I might not necessarily be getting through the shape of my laptop, because we have 8 antennas, 5 dBi on this router, so it should have a better range of connectivity here. So I'm going to explain this in a different video, but for now we have this option. Here we have the display settings, so when does it turn off and all that. Now this is a specific display on the router itself. My location is through my IB, which is Portland, Oregon, but you can change this here if you would like to. The USB storage, so remember when we took a look at the router itself in the unboxing, there is a USB 3.0 in there, so you can connect a hard drive or a flash drive or something there, and everyone connected to the network should be able to access it through typing down this on the address bar in Windows itself or in Mac. So this is really cool if you want to share some documents with everyone in your household or everyone who is able to access this router or this connection. This is just very neat and cool to access something wirelessly or even through a LAN connection. And you can add and remove things from this file, and it's going to be effectively added and removed from the drive connected to the router itself. So this is really nice. Here we have the health check. You can run this check and it's just going to check the connections. It's probably gonna find that my password is not very strong, but again, this is just for the sake of this video. I'm going to change this when I start using it or after I'm done with this video. So my score here is 81. Of course, you would be trying to get 100. Here we have the security, so we can we already have a firewall, but we can also do the DOS protection, which gives us all these options. So I'm going to deactivate this for now, but you have this option if you'd like to. Here we have the update firmware, which we just did to update, and we updated our firmware. Remote access, this is really cool if you want to set up some kind of remote access, so you can specify a management port and an IB port to have remote access here. We have the LAN connections, so you can play around and change the IBs if you'd like to. We have the DHCP, which is my connection here, so you can change here which numbers the IB address pool goes from. So you can make it from 5 to 10, from 100 to 250, and you can play around here. So this is also really cool. We have control almost everything here. Here's dynamic DNS. You can set this up if you would like, which is also really cool. A lot of people know no IB, or you can just play around with it. It's built in, so that's nice. Here we have port forwarding. So if you want this option, if you're into port forwarding and wanting to connect with a certain device that requires you to have port forwarding, so you're in the same network as this device, you have it here. You have the rule names, the server IB, the external port, internal port, protocol, and everything is just built in. Now we have the DMZ host. You can set it up if you want as well. Here we have UBNB, and you can set this up if you'd like. Okay, let's go back. Here we have the time zone. So I set this up when I was setting up the router in the beginning, but you have the option to change it here anytime if you'd like to. And here we have the VPN client. So if you have a VPN connection, you have the option of putting it in here instead of running a software, and then you have to utilize the Wi-Fi first, and then the VPN is over that Wi-Fi. You can put it here, so the Wi-Fi or the router feeds the VPN directly to your computer, which would add another layer of security if you have a VPN connection. And here's the signal control, so you can control the signal. If you don't want it to go very far away, you can just make it low, you can make it medium, but I would recommend just keeping it on high, so you have the best connection that you can have around your home. So that's basically everything that we get here. Oh yeah, before I forget, so for example, if we go to port forwarding, for example, now let's say you don't know what port forwarding is, or you don't know how to set it up. You just go here and hit this question mark, and it explains everything to you. What's a server IB, what's a protocol, what's port forwarding. And this is the same with every other option we have here. It's not just port forwarding. So this is really cool, and I appreciate that they added this here. This is basically all the options we have with this router, but my suggestion to you would be to keep checking if there's any firmware updates, because this could add more features, this could add more options in this page, this could update some settings. and that would be really cool. The other thing is the Wi-Fi extension is a really cool feature, and I'm just determined to make a dedicated video for that, so make sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss that video as well. It's one of my most favorite features about this router, and it's not just because it has it, but also because it has 8 antennas, 5 dBi built in, which should result in an amazing Wi-Fi extender, better than most of the Wi-Fi extenders that you can buy in the market. So yeah, that's basically it. I will see you in a different video when I make another one for the Wi-Fi extensions and when I review other routers and Wi-Fi systems on my channel. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Thank you guys for watching the video. If you've liked this video, please make sure to hit thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I am going to make another video later on explaining how to use this, the Wi-Fi extender, and I'm going to cover so many other tech devices and machines later on my channel. If that's something you're interested in, please make sure to subscribe. Thanks again for watching.